Well, yeah, I think there's still a few people there that are always determined to be aggrieved for their own purpose, whatever. But yeah, generally overall, I think there were some reservations about foiling monohulls, and there are some people missing the classic old dial-ups and actually being able to see the crew on the decks do work, as we saw on the day of Joey Allen and Dean Phipps on the bow of 32. But once you saw these exciting boats going, they were captivated, of course, in the height of the first procession. But then all of a sudden, when it got to 3-all, hey, we've got a contest, and this is the best against the best. And that was, and then all of a sudden, I think it became very compelling.
We had Joey Allen on before. I asked him whether foiling was yachting. He says it is now, so he's been swayed a bit. What about you? Do you think foiling's yachting? This is the
It won't go back now, there's no doubt about it. But foiling, look, there's windsurfing foiling, kite foiling, there's small boat mops foiling, they're everywhere now, and it just won't change. And it's had a huge impact on, remember, leading up to San Francisco 2013, there were just catamarans, and it was the New Zealanders who thought outside the square and retrofitted the foiling. And people thought it was photoshopping for a start, but it proved to be the real deal. And then, of course, for the design in Bermuda, it was foils up, and then you've got into monohull foiling, which people thought this will just be too dangerous and so on. But what we've seen is just quite extraordinary, and I appreciate the point that the technology that's being used now is in so many other areas, and New Zealanders are leading the ways in that, really thinking outside the square.
How is it we're so good? Because I mentioned earlier, you look at Ineos as a company, you look at what they're into. They have Mercedes on boards, they've got Airbus on board, Pirelli Industrial, and yet little old New Zealand invents stuff that no one ever thinks of, and it's better.
Yeah, I'm not sure we've got time to go into it. Back in 95, NZ32 was up against the might of America that had Boeing and also the General Motors support and background. So, it's been going on a long time. I think there's creative thinking, a little bit of number 8 wire, and also, it might sound weird, but way back when in the late 19th century, there were a couple of boat builders here, Bailey and Logan, and New Zealand had its own style of yacht with mother boats and so on, and light displacement boats, and we've been thinking outside the square for 150 years now, and that continues with some very bright, intelligent people. But I'm like, I'm not sure about time, but very quickly, inundated with messages from literally around the world, and some of them are very flattering. We won't go to that. But I've had a message here from Marcel Fassler. Now remember, he was the Belgian-born businessman who put in the entry in 1984, and this just arrived at 1:48 this morning. Dear PJ, what a fantastic series, exciting, thrilling, nail-biting at times, but at the end, the only thing that counts is winning, and ETNZ there. It makes me so proud to have been the catalyst on getting New Zealand in the America's Cup back in 1984. My vision paid off, Marcel.
Isn't that wonderful? That's fantastic. Where does it go, Pete? Does it go to the Isle of Wight? Is this all just talk, or we got trouble here?
I think there might be a little bit more than talk, but I was told yesterday that there's by a couple of people who couldn't know that in conflicting opinions, someone suggesting that there could be a regatta starting as early as November 22 and the climax in January 23. So it does come back to money, and Auckland's got it now magnificent, as you said before. The whole redevelopment of the waterfront is great, and it'd be great to have it here. But in the end, you're competing against some big boys who've got deep pockets, and they want to get back into it. And I'm told that Ernesto Vettorelli has been in very, very serious discussion with Team New Zealand to take their first foiling boat. And so whether or not that goes ahead, we'll have to wait and see. I think it'll take a few days before we know exactly. And meanwhile, all the people speculating will be able to fill the gap.
Fantastic. And the very good news, Pete, this morning, as I can tell you, I had a word with the boss. Your contract extension is good for the next one. So there's another cup coming for you, so you can sign on the dotted line.
When Jason went Stanley after reviewing me, they said, PJ, we want you in 2021. I said, Jason, my first objective in March 2020 2021 is to be alive, and my second objective is still have my marbles I'm flying. I think I thought I had them still back in June 2017.
Well, they're still well intact and we'll have you back next time, Pete. It's always a pleasure, mate. Well done, PJ Montgomery, the voice of the America's Cup, 14 minutes away from us.
Kiwi Commercial Cleaning is all about responsibility, safety in the workplace and buildings.